Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a clip I found on Twitter of an Apex Legends streamer basically berating his wife over the video game. So this is about a minute-long clip here, and basically, to give you a little backstory on what happens here, so the guy and his wife, I guess, are playing Apex Legends ranked mode, and I'm assuming that the wife kind of threw the match, right? Like he's talking about she was looting, taking her sweet old time and whatnot, so she was probably not ready for a gunfight. They got killed. The guy lost like 9 RP, which is like basically nothing if we're being real. And he just goes on like this minute-long tirade at her where he just starts screaming at her and just berating her in front of everybody on his stream. And it ended up going viral, man. There's a lot of people talking about it. There's people mostly criticizing this guy because in all reality, it is pretty fucking ridiculous to act this way over a video game. And there's no reason, honestly, to even play video games if this is how you're gonna act, because like, I get being mad at a video game. Trust me, I've had my freakouts, you know, I've thrown my controller when I was younger. I've just screamed at the video game, you know what I mean? Like that stuff happens, I feel like. But like when I've been playing video games with my girlfriend or anything, like I've never gotten so mad that I felt the need to just like start losing my fucking mind about it, because 9 times out of 10 your significant other doesn't really take video games seriously in the first place, so they're not really gonna know what they're doing. And even if they do take video games seriously and they enjoy playing, it's not really an excuse to just start, you know, fucking losing your mind at them over one match of Apex Legends ranked mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the clip here for you guys to take a look at, and then we're just gonna basically react to it in full. I want to give the full context of what's going on here, so I'm gonna just let the full clip roll and then we'll talk about it after that. So yeah, go ahead.
What were you doing outside? Were you looting? Zuka, it doesn't take that long, so you were looting! But there's enemies inside that they were fighting! Why are you allowing them to loot? You keep doing this shit over and over! You keep just allowing people to loot and get shit off! Like, I don't get it! I get if you need an armor swap, get an armor swap. But you're in there, like, taking your time. Like, did you forget that they were fighting another enemy?
I did not know.
Luca, who were they fighting then? Luca, who were they fighting?
I thought that was the last team.
Luca, why are you sitting there thinking that?
Stop talking to the other guy.
No, Suka,
no.
Why? Suka, no. Right there, stand.
Okay, so y'all have seen the clip now. I'm assuming you kind of see what I'm saying here. I don't really understand why this guy is so fucking mad, man. Like, yeah, I guess she got them killed or whatever, you know what I mean? Honestly, can you really blame it all on her? It's like, I mean, I have no idea. There's no gameplay visible, so who really knows if she's fully at fault or not? I don't really know. At the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. You know, this is just an unnecessary ass reaction in the first place. But let's go ahead and talk about this in general. So obviously the way he's speaking to her is completely unnecessary. He's like actually raising his voice and screaming at her because she didn't do good enough in Apex Legends. Like, I'm just thinking, like I said, I've played video games with my girlfriend before, and like I've never even been in this situation to where like I felt like I needed to react this way. And that's because of what I feel like is a pretty simple principle, right? Like, if you dislike playing video games with your significant other so much that whenever they make any sort of mistake in the game, you start just fucking screaming at them and berating them, you probably simply shouldn't be playing video games with them, you know what I mean? I mean, you can't genuinely sit here and tell me that this guy enjoys playing video games with his wife, because keep in mind, this is not the first time this has happened with this guy. From what I understand, there's been multiple other occasions, including at least one other one that's been reported on by a lot of gaming outlets, of this guy basically just losing his fucking mind at his wife because she's not doing good at the game. Like, if this is a repeated behavior where you're just screaming at your wife over the game, how are you really gonna sit here and say like, oh yeah, I enjoy playing video games with my wife? Because like, this doesn't sound like you're enjoying yourself. This doesn't sound like fun. It doesn't sound like fun for anyone, you know what I mean? Like, I can't really imagine being in the wife's shoes. Like, that would be that would hurt my feelings, like, to be honest, completely. Like, being spoken to like an idiot and screamed at like that by your significant other cannot be a good feeling, man. Like, it can't be something cool. And another thing I want to point out here, and like, this isn't the most important thing, but like, it's just something that really kind of supplements my point here. Like, I looked at the rank in which they're playing, okay? And they're playing in Gold 4, which in Apex Legends is on the lower side of the rankings. It's not like the worst rank, but it's like, I think, third from worst. I think it goes like rookie, silver, bronze, silver, gold, something like that. So it's not really like, you know, he's not an Apex legend, you know what I mean? He's not out here playing for his fucking life or playing for money. He's not even in like diamond or plat, you know what I'm saying? He's not even like getting up there in the ranks. And they lost 9 elo out of the whole thing. They lost 9 RP, which is really not that much. Like, you can easily get that much RP back the next game if you just survive a little longer in the circle and get maybe like a couple kills or something. Like, one decent match and you can multiply that, you know, by like 5, and that's how much RP you can get. You can get like 50 RP in an okay game. Not even one that you win, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not even understanding why this was as big of a deal as it was in the first place. He barely lost RP. They're not playing in that high of a rank. And at the end of the day, is it really that fucking serious, dude? Like, once again, if it's so serious that this is how you're gonna react when your significant other makes a mistake in a video game, just literally don't play video games with them, dude. Like, find people who are gonna play up to your standards or whatever. Play a fucking casual game with your wife or something. Play a different video game that doesn't require, you know, as much skill as Apex Legends does. But this guy ended up responding because obviously people were shitting on him, like, hey dude, you're talking to your wife like shit, you know what I mean? You're kind of just being an asshole and whatnot. And he had a pretty shitty response, in my opinion, and this is his response. I'm gonna go ahead and play that now.
I'm not treating my significant other like that. I treat my wife amazing. Thank you very much. All right. You want to know more about my wife and the country she's from and how she knows how women are actually treated compared to, you know, the free worlds of, you know, the Western society? Why don't you go over to her channel and fucking ask her? Like, seriously. I think you all need a big reality check, man. And right there, I'm gonna just prove a point on how fucking stupid chat can be right now. So to sit there and say, hey man, does anybody want anybody to die, period, right? You would answer, well, no, I don't want anybody to die, right? You don't want anyone to die. Of course you don't, right? So if you don't want anyone to die, does that mean you're pro-life?
Alright, this might be one of the worst responses to quite literally anything ever. Like, doesn't matter what the topic is, this might be one of the worst responses ever. So let's break this down piece by piece here. So, his main point is, oh, well, she'd be treated worse in her home country. Women get treated horribly there. That's not relevant. That has nothing to do with how you're talking to your wife. I mean, the fact that you're trying to compare you talking to your wife like shit in Apex Legends to, like, the brutal reality of misogyny in, like, horrible countries for women is just fucking ridiculous in the first place. They have nothing to do with one another, you know? It's just simply this dude trying to deflect. He's like, oh shit, I got called out by my chat. They're saying I'm being an asshole. Well, I mean, she'd be treated horribly in her home country, therefore it's okay for me to fucking scream at her over Apex Legends. Like, I just don't think that's how that works, man. That just doesn't make sense. So while it might be true she'd be treated worse in her home country, it doesn't justify what the fuck you just did. Like, it just simply doesn't. And I get it, you know, you probably felt like an asshole after that. You probably should have. That would have been the appropriate response, but that just doesn't work. And I don't understand what the fuck his last point was supposed to be. I don't know. What? Well, if you don't want anyone to die, doesn't that mean you're pro-life? Like, what the fuck are you even talking about anymore, dude? You're just saying things. You know, you're just making sound. You're just filling the air up with nothing. This guy just talks, like, for real. And then he was like, oh, well, I treat my wife amazing, okay? Well, once again, this is not the first time this has happened. He's been called out for doing this before, for basically just losing his fucking mind at his wife over the video game on stream. So this isn't the first time this has happened, which, I mean, if there's, like, multiple instances of you just like losing your fucking mind like this, why would anyone ever believe like, oh yeah, he treats his wife real well, he treats his wife good? For instance, you know, let's say I'm sitting at fucking Applebee's, right? I don't like Applebee's, but let's say I'm sitting there, right? And the drunk fuck up at the bar with his wife you know, starts screaming in his wife's face about football or something, and he's just screaming in her face, belittling her about it, am I gonna sit there and be like, oh, that guy treats his wife amazing, that guy is really cool, he's a nice ass guy? Like, this guy's just deflecting everything anyone's saying because I assume because he's ashamed of how he acts, and if that's the case, you're ashamed of how you act, at least so much that you have to deflect in the way that you are, why not just stop? You know? Why not just fucking quit? I don't know, man. Like, the game is just not that serious, bro. Like, dude, even if I'm stacked up with 3 of my friends playing Apex Legends and, like, I'm literally trying to grind my rank out, I'm not gonna fucking go on a 1-minute screaming tirade at them because they made a fucking mistake in a video game, man. Like, the way this guy reacted, you'd have thought he was on the front lines of World War III IRL with his fucking trench rifle, praying to God that he sees another day or something, man. I don't know. It just, to me, the whole situation was just fucking ridiculous. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @subtooptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, just thinking this guy's kind of an asshat, and signing out.